There's no hidden agenda. This has been published in the journal Nature Medicine and in Lancet. It says that the cost of Hib in the United States is $5.60. The price can come down only if Hib is part of the EPI internationally. Poor countries must therefore use the vaccine so that the price of the vaccine can come down in the United States. There is another problem with using Hib. This has been studied in numerous papers, especially from Canada. I've quoted only two, where they have used Hib vaccine, H influenza B has been eliminated completely. However, it has been replaced by non-B H influenza, and there is a proportionate increase in these H influenza. I'll quickly go on to the pneumococcal vaccine. Costs rupees 12,000 per child. It reduces 3.6 cases of pneumonia per 1,000 children vaccinated. This has been published by Dr. Mahdi in the WHO bulletin. The numbers of asthma in those who have been vaccinated with the pneumococcal vaccine are double that which are not vaccinated. The event rate increases from 1.8 to 3.2. And there are 1.4 additional cases of asthma for every 3.6 cases of pneumonia avoided. This was published in the New England Journal of Medicine. So we spent, if you want to treat 1,000 children with the pneumococcal vaccine, which costs 12,000 rupees, you will spend 12 million rupees to prevent 4 children from getting pneumonia, which can be treated with 40 rupees. If the prices come down to 1/10, it comes down to 1,200 in terms of 12,000, we will be spending 12 lakhs of rupees to save 4 children from spending rupees 40. The issue of strain replacement has now become published. Countries which were using the 7-valent vaccine have found that there is a sudden increase in 19A, which is very often antibiotic resistant. In the past, all the pneumococci were penicillin sensitive. The new pneumococci, which is replacing the ones because of the vaccine, are now antibiotic resistant. From the community perspective, how does a country decide which program to undertake for the country? This is a hypothetical situation. There are 3 excellent programs here. Rotavirus control program costing 200 crores saves 1 life per 20,000 rupees spent. Polio control 350 crores saves 1 life per 10,000. And TB control costing 700 crores but saves 1 life per 5,000. Suppose we have a budgetary constraint of 10,000 crores. Which program should the country undertake? How does one decide? The method is to rank incremental cost utility. You put TB control first because it saves 1 quality adjusted life year per 5,000 rupees. And therefore you take that first. Once you've taken that, 700 crores are finished. Then you take polio control, and by then your budget is over. Rota control, though it costs only 200 crores, does not get priority because it saves too few lives. 50% of our population do not receive the basic EPI vaccines, all of which together cost rupees 30. The human papilloma virus, which is being promoted, costs 9,000 rupees per child. We have a talk now on rotavirus vaccine next. I presume they will tell you that the strains in India are constantly changing between the bovine and the human strain, and it's impossible to keep track of the strains to give vaccines. That costs 2,000 per child. Pneumococcal vaccine costs 12,000 rupees per child. From the community perspective, Are these newer vaccines ethical? From the individual perspective, the vaccine costs rupees 12,000, but there is the MRP includes an incentive for doctors of rupees 3,000. The benefits are very small, 3.6 per thousand cases of pneumonia avoided. The individual doubles his risk of asthma, and the community risks getting antibiotic resistant strains. Can we prescribe this vaccine to those who can afford it? Save the Children UK have shown that the Global Alliance for Vaccines includes managers of pharmaceutical companies on their board, and that they are straddling the world's poor with expensive vaccines they cannot afford and perhaps do not need. Bill Gates and the Gavi, they fund the full introduction of a new vaccine. Countries look foolish not to accept this gift for the benefit of their people. Save the Children say that once the country is hooked on, the funding is stopped and foreign aid is withdrawn, and these poor countries have to continue using their scarce resources to support Big Pharma. Save the Children says that Ghana was given 10 days to decide to take the hepatitis B vaccine in the EPI without giving them evidence that it was actually needed. This decision doubled the cost of the country's immunization program. It's win-win for the doctors and for the vaccine industry. Vaccines that do so little good, that cost so much, and does harm, causing strain shifts. The program that siphons off scarce resources away from programs that really save lives seems win-win for all of us, except the children. There's a small epilogue to the story that I started with. 40 years later, Lawrence Slatter, a young psychologist, was very keen on meeting the people who defied Stanley Milgram. She put it out that she wanted to meet any survivors. She got a phone call. She drove all the way to meet him. His name was Joshua Chatham. He was 78 years old now. He remembered the experiment, he remembered the atmosphere, he remembered everything about the experiment. So Lauren was very excited, asked him, what is it that allowed you to defy Stanley when everybody else did what he said? He said that I went up to 150 votes, then I stopped. Lauren asked him, why did you stop? He said the whole experiment was so stressful, I was shaking, I was sweating, my heart was going so fast, I thought I was going to get a heart attack. And he said the man was screaming. Lauren noted that the first reason why he stopped was that he felt he was going to get a heart attack. The man screaming came second. But Joshua was a real defier. The next day, he went to Stanley Milgram to protest the experiment. He told Stanley that this is an experiment on obedience, not an experiment on learning, as you said. That you are not testing the people before to know whether they're going to get a heart attack. They could well get a heart attack because of the stress of the experiment. Stanley agreed with him that it was an experiment on obedience. He congratulated Joshua on his defiance and told him that he should keep it quiet because he still has some more patients to recruit. Joshua thought about it for a long time. He was very much keen to go to the police and blow Stanley's cover. He thought and thought. In the end, he didn't go. In the end, he was obedient. The world depends on the 35% who are defiers. They are the ones who clearly see what is right and what is wrong. But they need to speak up. They can't be like Joshua. They need to protest. They need to stand up for their ethical values. The future depends on you. Thank you.